let's talk about Palestinian food.
You're gonna watch me make moussaka, a dish that starts with the heart and soul of Palestine. Arayas inablus jajmashi, kuftit sardina magluba, Palestinian mujadara, Palestinian warak dawali or stuffed grape leaves.
And let's also raise awareness on some of the political things that are tied to food.
Palestine's olive trees have stood for centuries, deeply rooted in the land. Even when homes are lost, trees are rooted, and families displaced, the connection never fades. Like the olive trees, Palestinians remain rooted in their history, their heritage, and their right to return.
In order for people to understand Palestine, they should also appreciate its culture. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a chef and a content creator here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Truth be told, before 2021, Palestine did not mean anything to me. Well, I had like some idea of it, but no real information or idea of Palestine. I remember going through social media and there were so many news coverage about it and then realizing, wait a second, I actually don't know anything about, well, back in the day, a conflict. When I went all the way back to the history of what was going on between Israel and Palestine. And after that, having that much knowledge of it, it gave me a sense of understanding of what Palestine is. It's actually an issue of decolonization. It's actually an issue about freedom. It's actually an issue about, well, there's racism in there too. I think also having like a very strong sense of justification on why these things are happening is very compelling to me, because who's to say that it could never happen to us? It really reminds us that no one's safe until everyone is safe. We were seeing so many horrific, really graphic things on social media, like on Instagram specifically. Like a lot of my friend group, we talk about this, well, it was labeled a conflict, but the genocide really. And we talked about it at length and really feeling completely helpless. One day I was saying like, you know what, how come I don't know anything about Palestinian culture? So that was really the beginning. I said, okay, why don't I just make food and post it on the internet and see how it goes? I researched Palestinian food. I was like, okay, let's find like the most common Palestinian food. And I researched like national dishes in Palestine, and the makluba came up. And so I did the makluba the very first time.
You're gonna watch me make Palestinian makluba, which literally means upside down. Will it hold up? Will it break? But the reveal brought me so much joy.
So I had to go cross-reference a cookbook, YouTube videos, Google, and then see which one's probably the most closest one. After editing the clip, then I think about, okay, what do I want to say? And most of the things that I say online are current news.
You know what else doesn't discriminate? Grief. So next time, when you see a Palestinian mother grieving the loss of her child, remember that this is the same child she probably cooked for.
And then there was another where it was the kibbeh, and that was when the student encampments were happening, so then I started talking about that.
Look at this delicious plate of kibbeh and pay attention. And thank God for the student voices growing louder and louder. We're talking about students and faculty members who are demanding an end to the genocide in Gaza.
Most of these things that I am talking about, they're also current issues, because I think if people are not reading the news, then maybe you want to get to know about it through food recipes online.
Back in 2013, the crippling Israeli blockade had deliberately plunged Gaza into devastating food poverty. Fishermen forced to operate within limited and less ideal fishing areas risked being shot at if they ventured beyond these boundaries.
I have so many that are memorable, like people like Nasreen.
You're gonna watch me make a new friend on the internet. This is Nasreen, and you've probably seen her video on Instagram where she makes bread in her relative's tent after being displaced. Nasreen was a dentist, a food blogger, and a baker.
People like Yasmin.
You're gonna watch me make sfiha yafawi, which was given to me by Yasmin, and this is her great-grandmother Sarah's recipe.
I had to ask her, like, okay, what's the history behind this? She said this recipe came from her grandmother, and then that her grandfather came from Jaffa. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about Jaffa.
But what you might not know is that in the 19th century, it was well known for its expansive orange orchards and is famous for its oranges, which gave them the namesake Jaffa oranges. The city of Jaffa was said to be attacked first in 1948, and Yasmin's grandfather Ahmed, who was one of the orange farmers, had to flee.
What if we made a charity pop-up dinner that would introduce people in Jakarta to Palestinian food while simultaneously talking about what's happening in Gaza? And even if they didn't know anything about Gaza, they would be trying new food and they would still be more attuned or more aware about the situation there. And so I decided, okay, why don't we make a charity fundraiser where we sold the seats. As content creators, you're not really limited to talking just about lifestyle. You can weave hardship into your everyday content. This is a human issue. If someone was shot in your home, you would be talking about that person. So why wouldn't you be talking about it when something else is happening miles and miles away? I feel like you do sort of have like a responsibility to use your platform for good. There's a debate online saying that, oh, you know, like, I don't know anything to talk about this issue. So go read. There's Google, there's history books, there's all of these opportunities for you to learn about an issue if you don't know it.